A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms shocked me. It shocked me how simple it was. It shocked me how well it was made. It shocked me that it found its way all the way into my TV without being bastardised.
He was a true knight. Different than other men.
It shocked me because apparently it's cool to have men as role models again. Basically, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is the best show I've seen in years, and that's a big call. Last year, my favourite show, by a long way, was Mobland. That was an incredible show, with great writing, a great cast, it looked fantastic, and was a lot of fun. But A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is different. I can't remember the last show I watched that had a true hero, a show that showed that hope was a good thing, a show that had a lead that lived by a moral code and wasn't made to look like a fool because of it, a show that had a male being a good, strong role model for a boy, and it not just being a side note, it's essential to the story. I couldn't say any of that about Mobland.
The piss has been taken.
Dad! Ah, fuck!
It's a show that you can watch and you don't feel emotionally punished for it. It's not just impressive or mildly entertaining, it's genuinely uplifting. And with the world we're living in, that feels a bit weird these days. Because for the last decade, fantasy has basically been, here's a broken world full of broken people making broken choices. But don't worry, a girl will save the day. Somewhere along the line, Hollywood decided that optimism was cringe and heroism was reserved for women and the weak, but mostly women. And then out of nowhere, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms shows up and just ignores all that. No grand reinvention, no genre deconstruction, no smug commentary about why knights are now problematic. It just tells a story. I know, who would have thought?
Am I to be a knight one day, sir? As you are?
The premise is almost suspiciously straightforward. We meet Duncan the Tal at absolute rock bottom. His knight is dead. He has no credentials, no banner, no reputation. His armour barely fits, like his dreams that also don't fit. And instead of giving him a tragic backstory montage or secret royal blood twist, the show just says, Dunk's a decent bloke. Let's see what he gets up to. That's it.
When we win our first tilt, we'll have the loser's armour and horse or his gold. Won't be sad then.
He wants to enter a tournament, earn respect, maybe build a future. It's such a modest goal it almost feels rebellious, because modern fantasy usually operates on two settings: save the world or burn it all down. Dunk, our friend here, just wants a shot at life, and the fun part is, you want him to succeed. All because he's good. Not flawless, not brilliant, just a decent bloke. And as we know, in these creative bankrupt times, that's a revolutionary creative choice. But surprisingly, the show trusts that that'll be enough. They trust the source material, and they trust the audience.
So what should I do?
I don't know.
It doesn't inflate the stakes artificially. It doesn't suddenly pivot into, actually, the fate of the world hangs on this joust. It stays grounded. We get dusty roads, cheap inns, minor lords with oversized egos, villages that feel lived in. The world and its people aren't constantly on edge. It's just all existing day to day. That perspective shift matters. We've seen this world a number of times from throne rooms and war meetings. Here, we see it from the mud. It's small, personal, focused, which means the writing actually has to carry it. And it does. Sandwiches getting made, horses being trained, drinking, dancing, little jokes between characters.
No!
Scenes get to breathe, conversations matter, characters feel like people instead of exposition delivery systems wearing wigs. It turns out if you let audiences sit with two characters for a while, they might actually like them. Dunk's dynamic with Egg is proof of that. One's a walking oak tree with the loyalty of a golden retriever. The other looks like he escaped from a midget monastery and knows a lot more than he's saying. Their relationship isn't built on snark or mutual contempt. It's built on curiosity, friction and, well, maybe slow trust. Because one is completely trustworthy, the other one not so much. But it all feels very human, which is something that modern fantasy seems weirdly allergic to. This show's not embarrassed by honour. It isn't trying to undermine the idea of courage. Doesn't roll its eyes at bravery. Doesn't treat masculinity like a contagious disease. Dunk is allowed to be a man, even when talking to people above his station in life.
If I had not fought, you would have had my hand and foot.
This is an over-the-top panto where men overreact to being spoken to. This show allows men to talk to men.
Not bloody likely.
So building up to this show, and years of grimdark fatigue, after watching Game of Thrones crash into the cultural ocean and House of the Dragon lean harder into royal misery, people were bracing for more emotional trench warfare. Instead, we got something that's, well, almost old-fashioned. A story about trying to be better than you are. It doesn't come with a smirk, or a lecture, or meta-commentary. Because, let's be honest, we've had a decade of protagonists who are either miserable, manipulative, or morally grey to the point of invisibility. Here, the stakes are personal, reputation, honour, survival. It's refreshingly grounded. The show moves away from that message that Hollywood loves, that deep down everyone is terrible. Turns out that nuance can also mean that good people struggle. Wild concept, I know. Maybe the biggest takeaway from all this is that maybe viewers are done with fantasy that hates itself, done with stories that feel obligated to dismantle the very archetypes they're built on, done being told that optimism is naive and heroism is outdated. You know, maybe, just maybe, people want adventure again. Not parody, not deconstruction, not nihilistic prestige gloom, just heroism and honour, wrapped in an adventure.
Has courage deserted the noble houses of Westeros?
A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms delivers exactly that. It's warm without being cheesy, earnest without being stupid, and serious without being suffocating. And the cast has a lot to do with pulling all that off. Everyone, every single one of them is fantastic and the perfect choice for each role, which allows for moments like when Dunk and Egg's father, Maker, are discussing the fallout of the battle and Egg's future. In that scene alone, we get sadness, regret, anger, all within minutes, and all with just slight changes in delivery and expression. And it's all fantastic.
Fuck that, and fuck you. I fought for you. Harding, Beesbury, the fucking apple boy.
And little Egg, my god, Dexter Sol Ansell, who's playing Egg, is truly impressive. His range puts most adults to shame. I'm not even sure how a child that age understands all the emotion this kid needs to deliver, but he does it every time.
Impudent little rat. What's happened to your hair?
I cut it off, brother. I didn't want to look like you.
It's just a relief watching creators have the guts to make something that's sweet, emotional, and fun. In this show, even the horses have personalities and story arcs. So, is this the turning point? Is this a creative correction? Or is this just a rare project that slipped through the modern content machine without being fixed for the modern audience? I wouldn't rush to declare victory just yet, but I'll say this. If this is the direction fantasy starts heading again, grounded stakes, sincere heroes, and character-first storytelling, then maybe there's hope for the genre yet. And these days, that alone feels like a minor miracle. Can they do it again for season 2? I know this robot will be watching.